with the double track system, and if your ward is yet to attend senior high school, you should be interested in this conversation because government has announced its intention to start the dual track system for senior high schools in September this year. The new program creates a calendar of 2 semesters in a year containing 81 days for each semester and 41 days of vacation class. What's your take on the dual track system?
It's a laudable idea because if the same existing infrastructure would be used to accommodate more students, then it's an idea that I think should be commended, so that more students can get a chance to enroll into the free SHS and then benefit from the fine program that is going on.
We should look at the educational infrastructure. It's obvious that it appears it's not adequate. That's why we're having all these problems. We should not tamper with our educational programs. Hitherto, it was 3 years, it became 4 years. We can't toy with the lives of our children.
The system is very bad because for me, I finished SHS Form 1, 3 terms, Form 2, 3 terms, Form 3, 3 terms. It was not even enough. So I think it won't help. With the old system, you qualify or you graduating into the university is very hard because you don't even get adequate learning time to even finish your course.
All right, so Israel, this topic has been on the table for the past few days, and it looks like, while some people laud government for taking this decision, others are not really happy with it.
I don't think it's a bad idea, actually. I've listened to the arguments against it, and I'm yet to find an argument or any reason why we shouldn't do it. Because as the first person said on the video blog, if we're trying to take advantage of the existing infrastructure, why not?
Yeah, sure.
If it's going to give a lot more people access to
the school, why not? Except that one argument I had was the fact that all the other countries that they are trying to emulate the system, they run it a bit differently from how they want to run it. For instance, if the kids are on vacation in those countries, they go into the field to do some sort of internship rather than staying at home. So yeah, that's quite different from what they're going to do now. That's some of the arguments I've heard. But let's check out what you've been posting on Facebook.
Right, so Abdul Razak says, I think as a country we really don't know what we're doing, and also politicians try so hard to fulfill promises made during campaigns at the cost of quality. And if we get politicians toying with already crappy education in our system, then may God save our country from all these politics. Papa Abeka says, interesting times ahead. My question is, what happened when those now in Form 3 graduates? The system will also graduate to become treble track system, or what? This is what happens when our leaders use their political sense instead of common sense. The gods must be crazy. Sheriff Suleiman says, trust me, the system will do a brilliant and silent way of murdering the efficiency of our educational infrastructure. It is said that when the frog in front falls in a pit, others behind take caution. After learning that more than half of this year's WASI candidates are unqualified to access tertiary education, we are taking caution by considering the reduction of students' stay on campus. The future of this nation is in complete jeopardy, and I'm not sure anybody is actually reducing the students' stay on campus. Kwesi Boateng says, leave that discussion for the experts. We shouldn't create the opportunity for people to politicize sensitive issues. And to the media, don't give your microphones to people who have no idea about the education system. Politics is what is killing us. Well, they don't have any idea about the education system. It's supposed to benefit them, really. They are supposed to be the beneficiaries of the system, and so they definitely have a say.
By Jeremiah says the whole system in the educational sector is confusing. Even though I disagree with the move, but we need more stakeholders engagement in public education. Triple M says, I don't think the president just woke up with a nightmare and tried to realize it. Let's give it a try and pray as well so it doesn't become a 9-day wonder. And on WhatsApp, Raymond from Kumasi says, Ghana, even 3 years we get bad results, not semester system. We must be joking. And this one is coming from, you didn't add your name. It says, I think it's a good idea, but our leaders should manage it well for us, or else E8 and F9 will increase in our results. And this one is coming from, you also didn't add your name. It says, I totally disagree with the new SHS ruling system. The government should be very careful not to jeopardize with the education system. And Farouk from Tamale, okay. Right, so it's Farouk from Tamale says, double track SHS system will be very bad to our wards. That is from Farouk. And this one says, Kofi from Elmina says, how will it benefit a man to complete SHS and cannot continue with education? I don't think we all need free education in Ghana. These people have messed up our education system in Ghana. And this one coming from no name, it says, but it's best we enlarge infrastructure and maintain the current system we are enjoying. What's the big deal in making available the appropriate infrastructure? And this one is coming from Junior from Winnipeg. Is Junior a name, is it? It says, Aisha, so can someone please tell me why one teacher teaches just one subject and expects one student to study about 8 courses? The pressure one student is too much. Get rid of some of the subjects. Okay, so that's his suggestion. And let me take this one from Idris from Amangwa. So he says, how will both tracks write the WASI when they get to the final year? Because they will be limited. There will be limited facilities and to accommodate all of them. Well, very genuine concerns.
I'm not sure about the final exam being a problem.
A problem because of the arrangement.
There will be lots of examination
halls to do that.
Yeah.
Sure. Well,
the same classrooms that you need for all the streams will be available for just the final year.
Yes, exactly your point. And so, during examination they use dining halls and other halls included. So probably that will pay for it. Now, following the nomination of Madame Jane Mensah as chairperson and of the EC and 3 others as deputy chairpersons, there have been proposals for amendments of the constitution to delimit the president from electing the electoral commissioner, adding it must be advertised for qualified people to apply while allowing the people to make a choice. What do you make of this proposal?
Ghanaians, we have our own opinions, various, views about things, and so if we should elect the EC ourselves, yes, there wouldn't be any favoritism, people thinking she was elected because she knows the president, those kind of things would be avoided. So that is going to be a very good step if we should elect our own EC.
The president nominating the current people, Jane Mensah and others, is only acting on a constitutional provision. Do people who are nominated by either President A or President B qualify into the roles in which they are nominated? If they qualify, they have the expertise, they have the pedigree to handle the offices, I don't see any problem with it.
For whoever has to appoint, if it's government or president, then he has to consult people who has knowledge in that field. For example, the former EC chairperson or chairman. If people think that there is a lacuna in the constitution, then we should rather vie for, amendment in the constitution instead of, somebody suggesting that the president has to be out of it. Because the constitution says the president should nominate or appoint. So if that is what the constitution says, and people think that there's something wrong with it, then for me, we should rather amend the lacuna in the constitution instead of maybe throwing the constitution away.
All right, so those are some comments from the streets, but a lot more of the comments are on Facebook. Israel, let's check them out.
Right, Jeremiah says, I agree with him absolutely. It's about time we critically look at the constitution again. It doesn't just make sense that the president, who is a stakeholder in the election, should be the only person giving power to appoint the referees or EC commissioners for the elections. Ernest Gade says he's right. The mistrust among the political parties is massive and the EC must be free from any political stain and suspicions. The president appointing the chair surely puts him in a conflict of interest situation, we don't need political actors in appointment of EC commissioners. Yabwa Solomon says, and even it shouldn't be the EC only. The security services head, CEOs, director generals, etc. should be included. Edmond Sunday says, I certainly agree with the learned man, but here we are in a country where every process is interfered directly or indirectly by the president.
And on WhatsApp, I'll start with this one. He didn't add his name. He says, Joy News, you're the best station in the country. Thank you very much for that compliment. And this one from Abedinego, he says, it's a constitutional right of the president. This one from, you didn't add your name, he says, we're reducing 200 days. Okay, so he's talking about education. And this one says, I think the ministry has to come with vivid explanation, and also there should be public education on this brouhaha. And this one from Nana Ifa from Elmina says, the president has too much power. Adding, EC boss to be presidential appointments. Nana Ifa sends that. This one is saying from Ulu from Yendi says, hello Aisha. The SHS system is a delicate step, so the concerned authorities should be, okay, I don't quite get your message, but he's still talking about our first issue, the SHS. Right.